In this video, I share some tips and methods to help ease your nerves and stay calm before your next medical school interview. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Sebastian and I'm a first year medical student studying at Sydney University. Today we'll be talking about staying calm on your interview day, and I'll be breaking it up into different sections. I'll be talking about some strategies that you can employ in the weeks leading up to the interview, what you should be doing the night before the interview, and some strategies to help you stay calm on the interview day. I put timestamps in the description below, so please check out that if you want to go straight to that section. So I know that the interview period is a very stressful time for a lot of people, and it can be super overwhelming and you're not sure what to do or what to focus your energy on. So hopefully I'm just going to give you some tips and strategies to help ease your nerves and to alleviate a little bit of the stress, to help you cope with it, and some things that you can be doing to make yourself go into the interview more confident, more lively, and not worrying about the result or the final outcome, but more worrying about your personal growth, your personal improvement, and just being yourself and sticking to your gut on the day. Alrighty, so you've just opened up your email and you've got your interview offer and you're super excited and you've got a few weeks to prepare. For those of you who have already done their interview, I'm sorry that this video is a bit too late, but for those of you who have just got their offer and are now starting to prepare, there's a few things that you can do before in the weeks leading up to it to help you stay calm, to help ease those nerves and to cope with the stress and everything that's going on. And so this first thing that you want to do, I know everybody will say the same thing and it's kind of common sense, but you need to be doing a lot of practice. Ample preparation and constant practice will be the ultimate remedy for helping you feel more confident and feel more calm when you actually come to the proper interview. I've done a video on how to prepare. If you want to check out that, it'll be somewhere here, and have a look at that because that'll just go into some tips, into some resources, some things that you can be doing, and sort of how you should be gathering your thoughts and how you should be practicing. So the interview can be a big challenge. You'll be put into a complete new environment. Sometimes they might really put the pressure on you when you go into the room because you'll either be put into a waiting room with other applicants who are all sort of really nervous, or you might be taken onto a super weird environment or a room that you're not comfortable with. Really practicing and doing these mock practices with your friends, putting yourself under high pressure environments, that's going to simulate a sort of an interview environment, and that'll help you cope with different changes and it'll make you more adaptable when you're actually given the proper thing. You'll become confident in your answers, you'll start believing in your answers. That's a huge thing because when you start brainstorming ideas for your responses, right, you'll have all these thoughts in your head and they sound really good and you've formulated them really well. But then when you go to say them, it just doesn't come out right. You might be talking about a biomedical concept, or you might be talking about an experience that you had as a leader or something. And it sounds all good and right in your head, but when it comes out, it just goes all over the place. So really there's no other solution than to just vocalize your thoughts, because if you don't vocalize your thoughts, they're gonna get lost and you're just gonna forget about them. So you need to make sure that you're always saying them, it's always coming out of your mouth, and it'll roll off the tongue when you get into the actual room. So you really need to start practicing early. It will not only give you better confidence in your responses because they'll come off more authentic, they'll come off more genuine. It'll make you more relaxed. It'll become easy because it'll become second nature. You know what to say, you've said it before. It'll roll off the tip of your tongue and you won't have to worry about what the person's thinking, or did I say the right thing, or was the content correct, because you'll be confident in it and you'll believe in it. And that's the sort of the big thing that I think to help improve your confidence and to reduce that nervous energy is to actually believe in your responses. So another thing that you can be doing in the weeks leading up to the interview is to start going with more of a positive outlook. The interview is not there as a formal interrogation. It's there as a conversation. The interviewers themselves want you to do well. They wouldn't have offered you an interview if they didn't think that you were suitable or talented people. Congratulations, you actually got an interview. That just shows that your hard work is paying off and they want you to do well. And they want to look at you and be like, can I put this person in a ward? Can they communicate with patients? Can they be down in the books studying and being an effective student and being an effective potential future doctor? So that's what they want to see. They're not there to give you crosses and take away marks. They're there to give you marks. They're there for you to do positively, and they want to make you feel comfortable. The interviewers are not there to judge you. They're there to help you. They're just to see what you're like. So another thing that helped me to stay calm was to put the interview into the bigger picture, to really put things into perspective, that this interview, or it doesn't even apply to interviews, but that exam or that meetup or that meeting or whatever it is, it's not the be all and end all. It's not going to define you. This is just one little hurdle that you have to get over, and it's never a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you're truly passionate and you're truly engaged and you're perseverant and you push through, I truly believe that you can make this happen, and it will happen. A quote that I really like is, I think it was from Babe Ruth, and it says, you just can't beat the person who never gives up. And if you stick to your passion, your enthusiasm, what you love doing, if this is a career that you've wanted to pursue for a long time, or if you've thought about it recently and it just really sort of captures you, stick by it. And no matter what the result, you're not changed as a person. You're just continually growing. So changing this mindset from this is going to define me to this is just a hurdle, and then I can overcome this. And if the result's not the best, it doesn't matter because I can try again and it will happen. So for me, straight out of my science degree, I got a medicine interview and I didn't do too well. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't engaged enough. I didn't really know what to expect. So when I went to the interview, this was for Griffith University up in the Gold Coast, for those who are from Australia, I didn't do too well. And I learned a lot from it. I learned from that experience. And the next year I applied for 2 other universities, for Sydney, where I'm currently at, and for the Australian National University down in Canberra. And I got offers for both. And I think that year of failure really put things into perspective that I'll just keep trying because I'll keep growing, I'll keep improving. And it was a blessing in disguise because I stayed in my hometown at Sydney rather than moving away from home, away from my family and friends. Whatever your sort of situation, whatever your background, just remember that this is just a hurdle. It's not a defining moment, and it's always a matter of when, not if. Perhaps a few of you have heard this idea in reflective thinking. It's about a fixed and a growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, you think that your intelligence, your capability, your performance, that's a fixed constant, that you can't really change it. It's intrinsic to you, and you're either a smart person or you're a sporty person or whatever it is. And so you'll have this self-limiting doubt in yourself that if you don't do well or you don't perform, that's sort of just something that you have to deal with and you might not always be able to perform. But I think that's a poor way to think about it, and that's setting yourself these performance goals where you have to be better than the next applicant, or just to get this certain mark or this goal, and then once you've sort of surpassed that, you'll be good enough. I don't think that's appropriate. I think really what you want to be striving for is a growth mindset. I talked about it in another video when I talked about weaknesses. If you want to have a look at that, that'll be here as well. And I think with growth mindset, it's really important because you'll look at failures as positive things. I heard somewhere, I'm not sure what it was, but you are a sum of your choices and your failures. Things that happen to you, failures that happen to you, you really learn a lot from them and you learn quickly from them. And that will really make you a better person overall. So if you're feeling nervous and you're feeling like super stressed, just remember that it's okay to fail and that it's okay not to do well. That's just part of life, and especially if you're young, you'll continually learn. What you really want to be looking for is these mastery approach goals where you're not just trying to be the best sort of student in the class or get the certain mark. What you should really be striving for is more, am I the best that I can be? Have I mastered this field that I think is appropriate to my learning or to my career or whatever it is? So you should be attaining a goal where you're always improving on yourself. Because when you set yourself ideals, the ideal that you set for yourself, whether it's beating that person or when you compare yourself to other people who are well above you, you're setting an ideal that's too far. Remember that the ideal that you set is also your judge, and it's also going to give you a sense of, am I good enough or am I not good enough or whatever it is. So you want to be setting yourself realistic goals that are tailored to you, tailored to what you were like a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever it is. You're the best judge of yourself. So there's a few things that helped me sort of stay calm on this day, or the few days that were just before the interview. I'd suggest, if you can, to sort of decrease the amount of university work that you're doing if you're in a course, because you might be during semester during this time. Is just to try, maybe, if you have exams, obviously focus on that, but if you can, to just put aside some time to just relax, to not think about too much. I would suggest that if you've been preparing, then to stop preparing the night before, not to do anything, and to do something that really relaxes you, that really calms you down. So for me, it's going for a long run, or it's going to the gym, or just doing some form of exercise that really sort of eased my nerves. But for you, it might be to do some cooking, to go out to dinner with a group of good friends, to have a good conversation, or it might be to play a musical instrument, like have a good piano session. Whatever it is, I'd suggest that the night before your interview, that you really start doing things that relax you, that sort of give you a feel-good vibe, so that you're going into it with increased mental clarity, and you're not pumping yourself with so much information before the day. And obviously, just with anything, common sense, have a good night's sleep, eat well, make sure that you're well rested, so on the day of, on the morning, that you're feeling good, you're feeling rejuvenated. You get up and you're feeling pretty nervous. I know for me, I didn't have the best sleep that I could have because my nervous energy kept me up. And I know for a lot of people that might be something that you can relate to. that sense of urgency to wake up. It's like Christmas Day. Something's about to happen, so you just instinctively get up. But just remember, on the interview day, there's a few things that you can do to not to get yourself too wound up. Is that when you're actually in the waiting area, or you've got to the uni and you're just sort of waiting around, not sure what to do yet because you're 2 hours before your interview, I think it's important not to feel obliged to talk to others. If you're the type of person that likes to keep more to yourself and just to stay focused and look at your own goals, then I don't think you need to go out and mingle. Obviously, you don't want to be a recluse, and if someone's coming to chat to you, it's important to acknowledge and be friendly. But if you just like your alone time to stay focused before the interview, I think that's perfectly fine. If you're someone that likes to have some company, I think it's important to maybe bring a close friend or a close family member that can sort of relax you, maybe go for a quick bite to eat before the interview, whatever sort of eases your nerves. And I really suggest that you don't change your routine. So if you're someone that wakes up and has a morning coffee, have your morning coffee again before the interview. But if you're someone that's never drunk coffee before, I wouldn't be chugging down 3 cups of coffee to try and get you energized. Just do what you normally do, stick to your normal routine. It'll feel more natural, you'll just feel yourself. So another thing that I recommend you do on the day, and obviously this is something that you prepare beforehand, but it's to wear something that you really feel confident in, you really feel like it's you. So I had a really nice suit that I felt really good in. I thought I looked quite good, and that gave me a really sort of burst of confidence. But you don't want to be feeling tacky or feeling not yourself, because that'll translate to poor body language. So you need to feel confident so you can outwardly look confident. And remember that after the interview, no matter how well you performed or how poorly you think you performed, just pat yourself on the back for getting to this stage. Congratulations on finishing. Don't think about the result. You're not any different of a person because you've had this 1 hour of interviewing. You're exactly the same person. Just remember that the weeks that you've been preparing before the interview and conversing with your friends and discovering more about yourself, that's exactly it. You're learning more about yourself, you're getting more conversationally fluent, you're just growing as a person. I think that's the biggest thing about the interview process, is that it's nervous because we're thinking of the outcome, but really what it comes down to is it testing you on the journey and the perseverance and how much you really want it. I think that's really the important skill that I learned from the whole interview process and my own experience, is that I was calm by the end of it because I had a mindset that even if I fail this year, there'll be next year and there'll always be more opportunities. The interview process will be something that you'll remember well into medical school. I know that friends and I, we still bring it up and talk about it to this day, and you'll probably remember it when you're a bit older as well. And just to summarize, remember it's not a formal interrogation, it's a conversation. And that you want to be setting yourself realistic mastery goals and have a growth mindset, a positive outlook on it, where it's not the be or end all, it's never a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and that it's about the journey, not the outcome. And for those of you who have an interview coming up, all the very best of luck. Just stick to your gut, take in these tips, and hopefully you can apply some of them to your own sort of practice. But remember, it's a conversation, there's no right answer, and just go out there and give it your all. So all the best of luck. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the video. And if you found it useful, can you please subscribe and ring the bell to see more content and more videos like this? I hope this really helped. If you had any more questions or you wanted any more information about this, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'll reply to every single one of them. If you also want to leave me a message on my Instagram, you can check that out because I'll reply to your messages there. This video series is all about improving your presentation, passion, and performance before your next medical school interview. Until next time, this was Sebastian. Stay sharp.